When was the last time you truly considered what goes through a woman's mind when you go silent and stop reaching out? Most men don't realize that stepping back sets off a powerful reaction, one filled with unexpected emotions, deep realizations, and shifts in perspective. In today's world of instant texts and constant validation, silence isn't just a pause, it's a powerful move that changes everything. It can be the key to understanding how she really feels and what she's willing to do when the noise is gone. Stick around, because what you're about to learn will forever change how you approach relationships. Section 1. The shock of silence. When you first go silent, it's like a sudden power cut in the middle of a bright day. It hits her harder than you might imagine, and the abrupt change throws her off balance. In a world where interactions are instant and conversations flow seamlessly from one notification to the next, the sudden void you create is deafening. She's left questioning, is he serious? Why did he stop? At first, she convinces herself it's a temporary glitch. She might even dismiss it with thoughts like, he's probably busy, or it's just a break. But as the hours turn into days, the initial disbelief morphs into a deep, unsettling realization. You're not playing by the same rules anymore. The comfort of predictability, the small moments of reassurance she took for granted, are now gone. Each time she checks her phone, only to find it void of your name, the weight of your silence grows. In a world where the red receipt and online status define a relationship's temperature, your absence is cold. Her mind doesn't just linger on the absence of texts. It dives into memories of times you responded instantly, of late-night conversations that felt endless, and of the subtle rituals that built her trust in your availability. The realization that she no longer holds that immediate access feels like losing an unspoken privilege. This sudden, uninvited change plants a seed of doubt, making her question if she misjudged your connection. This stage is the psychological equivalent of a wake-up call. Your silence is a silent shout that something's different, and it forces her to reassess her own perception of the relationship. It's no longer just about a missed text, it's about a shift in power, attention, and control. Section 2. Questions and frustration. As the initial shock starts to fade, a new wave hits: frustration. This isn't just surface-level annoyance, it's a deep, gnawing need for answers. Her brain goes into overdrive, dissecting past interactions like a detective looking for clues. The digital age feeds this phase. Old chats get revisited, posts from weeks ago are re-examined for hidden meanings, and every detail takes on exaggerated importance. She replays conversations repeatedly, analyzing tone, pauses, and phrases, hunting for anything that might explain why you've gone silent. The frustration is compounded by the fact that, in today's world, silence isn't just silence. It's a message. A missed text can mean anything from indifference to a strategic move, and she's well aware of this. She asks herself questions like, did I push him away? Or is he testing me? The frustration isn't just about wanting you to reach out. It's about understanding why you haven't. In a time where answers are just a Google search away, the lack of clarity is maddening. Her friends might become sounding boards, listening as she shares theories and anxieties, but even their reassurances can't quiet the voice in her head that wonders if she missed something vital. It's not just a desire for your attention at this point. It's a need to solve the puzzle. The frustration peaks when she realizes that, no matter how much she digs, the only person with the answer is you. This stage isn't just emotional, it's physical. She might find herself restless, checking her phone constantly, losing focus at work or during daily routines. The frustration morphs into a simmering impatience that begins to affect her mood and interactions with others. The absence of your presence is now an active force in her life, reshaping how she feels and behaves. Section 3. Finding distractions. When searching for answers becomes too overwhelming, she shifts her energy toward finding distractions. This phase is a classic coping mechanism. Nights out with friends become more frequent. She dives into new hobbies, signs up for yoga classes, or fills her time with anything that helps silence the questions swirling in her head. Social media becomes a double-edged sword, a source of distraction, and a place where she subconsciously looks for signs of you. But no matter how many activities she packs into her schedule, they only provide temporary relief. The modern world offers endless distractions, streaming services, endless social media feeds, and constant online interaction. Yet none of these truly quiet the lingering feeling your silence left behind. It's like trying to use background noise to cover up the sound of an alarm bell. The distractions help her regain a semblance of normalcy, or so it seems. During the day, she might feel almost back to herself, chatting, laughing, and moving through her routines. But at night, when the world quiets down and there's no one to talk to, the emptiness becomes more pronounced. The distraction phase reveals something powerful. No amount of external activity can completely replace the mental space you occupied. The attempts at distraction are also telling. The more effort she puts into keeping her mind off you, the clearer it becomes that you've taken up more space in her thoughts than she anticipated. Even when she's busy, there's a part of her that's hyper-aware of the absence. It's this realization that distractions only go so far that marks the turning point toward deeper reflection. Section 4. The burst of anger. When distractions start to lose their effect, emotions bubble up in a different form: anger. This phase is loud and intense, a natural pushback against the helplessness she's been feeling. "I don't need him," she might say, half convincing herself. Social media may turn into her stage, where confident posts, cryptic quotes, and bold selfies scream independence. These displays are more than just for show. They're declarations to herself and to the world that she's unfazed, even if it's far from the truth. But this anger isn't just a sign of moving on. It's a cover. Beneath the surface, resentment mixes with a deep vulnerability. It's easier to channel the confusion and hurt into anger than to admit the sadness that your absence caused. She might talk to her friends about how she's better off without you, yet those conversations are often laced with frustration over not knowing why she feels this way. It's an attempt to reclaim control, to shift the narrative so she doesn't feel like the one left waiting. In today's culture, where self-reliance and empowerment are celebrated, the anger phase is an armor. It's a way to project strength while grappling with the insecurity that silence stirs up. But as powerful as it feels in the moment, anger has a way of fading, revealing the softer, unresolved feelings underneath. It's during this phase that she may block or unfollow you, not out of spite, but as a desperate attempt to force herself to move on. What she might not realize is that anger, no matter how fierce, is a sign that you still matter. It's a testament to the emotional impact you've made. The louder the anger, the deeper the attachment. And as that fire starts to die down, she finds herself left with what comes next: reflection. Section 5. Reflection time. After the anger has burned out, a quieter phase takes over: reflection. This isn't just casual thinking, it's a deep, introspective process. She starts to piece together what happened, looking inward for answers instead of outward. Did I take him for granted? Was I clear about my feelings? The modern woman, who values growth and self-awareness, dives into this phase with an open mind, ready to learn even if the truth is uncomfortable. Reflection often brings up moments she ignored or overlooked. Maybe she remembers times when you tried to communicate your needs, or instances when she brushed off your concerns thinking they weren't important. It's a time when she starts to see the relationship in a new light, not as a simple story of right or wrong, but as a complex dynamic where both sides played a role. This realization can be humbling. The reflection phase is also marked by a quieter sense of longing. It's no longer about what was said or done. It's about understanding why it mattered so much. She might journal her thoughts, talk it out with close friends, or simply sit with the feelings, letting them sink in. The more she reflects, the more she begins to see that your silence wasn't just a move to make her miss you. It was an unspoken message that forced her to reconsider the balance of your relationship. During this stage, she starts to accept that your withdrawal created space for her to look at the bigger picture. The reflection becomes less about finding fault and more about understanding how to grow from it. The silence, once frustrating and painful, now feels like a lesson she needed to learn. Section 6. Missing what was familiar. Reflection leads to something deeper, a sense of longing for what was familiar. This isn't just about the big standout moments. It's the small, everyday things she starts to miss. The texts that used to light up her phone, the inside jokes that only you two understood, and even the way you'd respond to her late-night thoughts. In today's fast-paced world, where connections often feel fleeting, realizing that she had something genuine can be a powerful moment. She begins to scroll through old photos, reread past messages, and replay memories in her mind. Each one brings a mix of comfort and regret. The familiarity of your presence isn't something she can easily replace, and this recognition deepens the impact of your silence. It's here she realizes that what you shared wasn't just another connection, but something that had substance and weight. This stage is bittersweet. It brings warmth, but also reminds her of what she's lost. The realization that she can't just pick up her phone and message you adds to the gravity of the moment. The more she allows herself to feel this, the more she starts to understand that your absence left a mark. It's not about missing you in a casual way. It's about recognizing that her life feels different without you in it. Section 7. Reaching out subtly. As the longing grows, she begins to contemplate reaching out, but doing so directly can feel like a risk, so she tests the waters in subtle ways. It might start with a like on your old post, a quick reply to your story, or a random message to check in. These small acts are her way of saying, "I'm still thinking of you," without exposing herself too much. In today's digital world, these subtle moves speak volumes. Her intent isn't just to remind you of her presence, but to gauge your response. If you reply, she'll analyze every word, every emoji, for signs of your current mindset. If you stay silent, it reinforces the uncertainty and pushes her to question if reaching out was the right choice. These small attempts can go unnoticed to most, but for her, they're filled with meaning and hope. This stage reveals a lot about how deeply your silence has affected her. Even if she doesn't admit it, each small gesture shows that she's not entirely ready to let go. It's not about being bold or making the first move. It's about breaking the silence without fully stepping out of her comfort zone. And whether you choose to respond or not, these subtle attempts at connection keep the dynamic alive, even if just for a moment. Section 8. A new perspective. With time, acceptance leads to a new perspective. She looks back on the no-contact period with clearer eyes and realizes how much she's grown. The silence that once felt like an unfair punishment now feels like a pivotal lesson. She understands the balance of give and take in relationships and sees how the space allowed her to reassess not just what you meant to her, but what she needs from any relationship. This new perspective can go one of two ways. She either finds herself drawn back to you, with a renewed appreciation and desire to reconnect, or she moves forward, using the lessons she learned as a foundation for future connections. In either case, the silence has served its purpose. It's given her the space to realize what she truly values and what she's willing to fight for or let go of. This phase isn't marked by regret, but by empowerment. Whether she decides to reach out and rebuild or let things remain in the past, she does so with a newfound understanding of herself. The silence has transformed from an unsettling void into a necessary pause that helped her grow. Section 9. The decision to reconnect. If the new perspective brings her to a place of wanting to reconnect, it won't be a rushed decision. This stage is thoughtful and deliberate. She's weighed the pros and cons, considered the risks, and reflected on whether reaching out aligns with her values and needs. Modern relationships are complicated, but if she decides to take the step, it's with more self-awareness than before. Reaching out now feels different. It's no longer a knee-jerk reaction driven by fear or confusion, but a choice made with clarity. When she contacts you, it comes with an unspoken understanding that the silence has changed both of you. Whether the response is positive or neutral, this moment is pivotal. It's not just about reconnecting with you, it's about showing herself that she's willing to take a step forward, no matter the outcome. This stage can reignite old connections or bring closure, but either way, it holds significance. It's a testament to the power of silence and the impact of what happens when someone takes a step back and allows space for reflection and growth. And that's the journey she goes through during no contact. Understanding these stages gives you insight into what silence truly means and how it can shift dynamics. If this helped you see things from a new perspective, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more content that dives deep into relationships and personal growth. Drop a comment below on which stage surprised you the most. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.